Get set up. Hey, what's up, folks? This is Brock from my workbench, aka my kitchen table. Not my patio table. No, not that either. My parents' patio table. Let me set this up so you guys can see and I can work. All right. It's pretty darn hot outside right now. It's got to be 90 here in California, if it's not over 90 already. Oh, what's up, Justin? Dude, hey, stick around just for a second. I have a question for you. I was gonna message you, but now that you jumped on here, do you have a minute, or should I message you later? It's a customizing related question. What's up, everybody who's joining up? So today, what what I'm gonna do is I'm planning on working on a couple of projects coming up. So what I wanted to do is just start planning, maybe doing some of the prep work. I'm not going to do too much of the prep work live, but I want to discuss it. And what I wanted to ask Mark I Lab Creations, because one of the things that I wanted to do was revisit a couple of old planned projects. I have, like many customizers, once you get the bug, you want to work on a ton of stuff. So the ton of stuff that I've been working on, it's over a year. I have stuff that's over a year. So about a year ago, let me start putting some of this stuff up here. I had planned on making an Archangel. This was before Hasbro re-released their Archangel figure. Yeah, let me get to it. All right, so I had worked on it. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I worked on this live. So this is when I wanted to ask Mark I Lab Creations. What's up, guys? Welcome to the chat. The 11 you of that are up in here. Is it Monday? I think it's Monday. So, anyways, I had planned on making an Archangel figure, and I had gotten these wings. They're really nice, very interesting looking wings off of a Transformer figure. And I had worked on this bullseye buck and added magnets. So see how that works. So it attaches via magnets, and it's actually fairly strong magnets that can hold the wings, as you can see there. The problem with these wings is that they're cheap Hasbro Transformer wings. So the side that was intended to be seen on the dinosaur figure is not the side that's most likely going to be seen on mine. So because I'm attaching it with a magnet, and I may end up scrapping this project, but unless Mark I Lab Creations, who is the Kit Bash master, can give me some ideas here. I had thought about filling in these wings, and I started to, but I think they're going to get too heavy with the epoxy sculpt. And then I thought maybe what I should do is line it with something else, like some foil, and then go over like with a thin layer. I'm outside, guys, so excuse the noise. So I don't really like how that looks there. I love how that looks. That's a great look. But that's not the side that's going to be displayed. It's going to be this side. So my other thought was maybe I should just reverse the magnet, right? Change the magnet around and display it from this side. But I don't think that shape works. So what do you think, Mark I Lab Creations, or anybody else that has an idea? I'm close to scrapping this and then recovering my magnets and figure and using it for a different project. All right, so let me see what you guys are saying here. clap plate. I'm not sure what that black chandelier. I'm not sure what that is. And fill it in. Needs some painting, of course. And then Mark I says he would Dremel out the cross sections. And what cross sections are we talking about here? Are you talking about this right here? I had thought of taking some plastic card also and covering it, but then it just doesn't have that cool looking design. And I kind of want to retain that design. So what is the main line that looks like a palm tree? This one right here? Let me see if that's the line that you meant. Yep. Okay, so you're saying, like, are you saying cut this whole thing out right here like that, and then and would you retain this part, or are you saying like would you cut that out and then just use that section for the wing? Okay, so you're just saying cut this stuff out. Okay. Would you leave this? I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to visualize. Here's part of how people's brains work differently. Mark Lab Creations has been doing customs way longer than I have, and he literally has done hundreds of customs where I've done maybe, I don't know, 30, maybe a little bit more than that. So he's got way more experience, and he's really good at visualizing things. I'm terrible at visualizing things. I know some people like draw things out. So from what I'm getting him saying is he would take these cross sections out so that you would have that design be cleaner. So I could definitely do that. That's not an issue. And then he's saying lay down, and then you can lay tubing with the grooves. Tubing. Oh, are you saying tubing from here? I don't know what you're talking about. You could even cut tubing in sections, then lay them in the groove, making it look like tubing holds within. So you would have a tubing place here. All right. But so my main concern is these cavities, right? So I don't like how those cavities look. I want that. It would have been great if they would have done a full wing, but that's not what they did. All right, I'm gonna have to look up that Weapon X Wolverine, and I think we may have to like maybe have like a convo because I'm a visual person and like I don't know. So I had, dude, I think I had a live session where I actually did magnet work. It's got to be over a year ago. And I had also picked up, the reason I did magnets is because I had the KO version. So I could do like a de-weaponized wing, like a smaller wing. And then I also had bought the loose collector wings that this little thing broke off, but I was going to add a magnet to it anyway. So what I may end up doing, if those wings don't work out, I think I may just use this guy as the depowered Archangel, which is pretty cool. I'll get to the comments in a minute. So yeah, that's been a long time planning. I literally have probably like 70 projects planned that I just haven't gotten to. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. What's up, Action Jack? So Black Chandelier says that plot plate is basically like polystyrene. Have you done that before? And if you have, maybe you can send me some pictures so I can see. So what Mark Lab Creations is saying, try to make those cavities look like they're intentional. So, but what both of those guys are saying, unfortunately, I can't visualize what you guys are saying. So I'll move on from that, and I'll chat with you guys off air. All right, so here's some customs that I had planned for some reason or another, and I'm just curious if they're gonna work out. I need my heat gun for a little experiment. So as you can see here, I had planned a Mr. Miracle, that's my wife's writing. And I was planning on using the Sunfire mold. I do like this figure, but it's old and it hasn't aged well. The articulation hasn't aged well at all. And I was thinking of maybe possibly using some parts there, but let me get my gun out and get some heat to this guy and see if the head will work on that body. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be too small for that head, so I may actually have to go one body scale up, like the what was that UK Spider-Man body, the Grim Reaper body. So let me get the head off of this dude first, and then I'll move on. Black Chandelier, if you can send me like a picture of what you're talking about, maybe I may have seen it. But guys, I have like 2 tubs of customs, about 70, I think. That's a fair number. By the way, I'm just using a heat gun here. Oh, looks like it came with the ball peg. So, unfortunately, let me see if I can get it out. All right, got that ball peg out, that dumbbell joint. By the way, if you haven't seen one of Anthony's Customs recent videos, he's working on his own action figure, and he made such a great point with these dumbbell joints that if one of these balls is larger, it gives a better range and a more natural look than having, you know, the hinge system, etc. You guys should check it out. It was pretty eye-opening and informative. All right. So it's closed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Dremel. This is how you fit heads, by the way, if you guys are new to customizing. My channel is kind of guided for beginners, and I do have a lot of videos, but this is going to help. I'm just essentially going to make a bigger cavity here with this bit and fit this head on that peg. If your hole's wider, then you can use stuff like hot glue to make that work. So let me get my goggles go. I need to make it wider. Thank you, sir. Andrew Boyd, when you asked me that question about my favorite custom, I would say Spot, but not because of its difficulty level. It was, go check out that video. I was motivated one weekend because I saw a Glenn Webb video. I thought it was a cool character. I used an updated buck and I did some special effects for it. So I would say that's my favorite custom. I've done some stuff a little bit more complicated than that, but that was a real fun project. Fun little weekend project. If I had to do that custom over again, I would paint it differently. I would use an airbrush. And if you look at the video, the paint came out actually pretty clean. The spots came out pretty good, I would think, for my skill level anyway. But I saw somebody recently do one, a Brazilian customizer. His name's slipping right now. I think it could be Mike something on Instagram. But what I like what he did with his white, he highlighted, or he highlighted's not necessarily the shadows. He shadowed the crevices in gray, and it looked really nice. Yeah, Mark I Lab is dead on the money. It was, if I would have known how to use an airbrush at that time, well, I would have definitely used it, because it's so much better to come out of an airbrush, because it goes on so much smoother, much more smoothly. So what I'm just doing here, I'm just test fitting it, because I don't want to use the hot glue gun. So I'm trying to get it right on, but it looks like I need to go deeper. But that head actually it's a tad on the big side. It's a tad on the big side. Let me see if I set it lower, if that'll change the look. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. It's always hard to do these, because I'm not getting any like verbal feedback back. So I try to, sometimes I feel like I talk to. I don't know what to do about it. It's not even directly in the sun. Maybe if I'll point the blower over here. Give me just a second, see if I can make this work. If not, it's going to be unfortunate, but oh well. I think that's getting some air. We're back to normal? All right. I have an air blower out here. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if it will, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what the last part that you heard was, so I'm gonna just move on and continue. That's life customizing outside, guys. Yeah, I don't know why it heated up. It's not even in direct heat right now, but it's like 90s right now. Oh yeah, Andrew Boyd says it's been storming here in New Jersey. Okay, so when the shoulders are in like this, the head looks a little bit big, but when they're kind of out, that actually may work. What do you guys think? And then having the cape, I'll put this cape on for a second, see if it how that looks. I'm not going to use this exact cape because I want to use a soft goods cape with it. The reason I don't do it over here, guys, is because it'll mess up the mat. This mat got messed up because, well, I'm out here in the heat. There's definitely parts of the figure that I want to use. But let's see if I can just rip it out. I don't want to completely jack this cape just in case I decide to use parts of it. like the color. So I think what I'm going to do is come on, girl. There you go. Obviously, it's not going to fit. Yeah. My mom's telling me that it's fire right now. Oh, okay. My mom's concerned that I'm going to get asthma with the fires. I guess the only way to really tell would be to get this off. Let me see if I can just cut it, or I'll Dremel it out. There's a fire out in my area right now. Thankfully, it's not close where we're at right now. This is just to do a quick test fit, but I think it's gonna, yeah. Mr. Miracle is a really cool character. They did do a series about a year and a half ago, I think now. But, man, I don't know. It's definitely smaller than the DC body, but I'm kind of thinking that that head's too big. Andrew, I don't think, I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment, but it's not really, for me, it's not really talent. This is something I learned over the last few years, which means that if I learned it, you could learn it too. So that looks okay, but that head I think is too big. It's gonna be too big for this body. And I'd hate to go and work on a custom and then have it be, this dude's has a big head. I mean, I got a big head. So you guys think it looks decent from over there? I gotta stare at it a little bit longer. Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna sit him on the side over here, stand him there, and then move on to the next custom I wanted to take a look at. All right. The next custom that I had planned a really long time ago, as soon as I'm sorry that this is moving a lot because it's getting hit by the fan. Let me try to readjust it and see if that will stabilize it a little bit more. Let's see. So as soon as the Omega Red body came out, I go, man, Sabertooth. And there's a bunch of customizers that have already done a Sabertooth on this. I'm thinking of Weapon X Customs, a buddy of mine. He did a really nice one. And I think I'm going to use some of the parts from this Wolverine right here. I may actually use this as an alternate head. And I think I'm going to use possibly the arms too, because they go really well. See that? See the size difference? It's like almost identical. And that bicep would be super easy to fit on there. But this buck is really difficult to prep. And I just did a thunderball on it, and I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it again. I don't know if this is a custom that I should just go ahead and knock out, because it's been a long time coming. And yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I think I may actually use his biceps. Want to see what they look like on here? Let's do that. Let's give it a whirl. And I did get another head. I believe it's the Marvel Select, but it's scaled down. It's a really nice looking head with a great expression. And I suppose I could also use this one just as an extra head. Why not, right? So if these arms actually look good on him, I may just go for it and let's fit that head first, since I have this out, and then I'll move on to the arms. Let me try to stand this at a different angle, guys. Sorry for the motion. Trying to keep it cool and at the same time show you what the heck I'm doing here, so you have something to visualize. And then if you decide to custom yourself, you can see, that's something that I could do. That doesn't seem very difficult, and it really isn't. So let's fit that head on here, and I think maybe we will be doing this custom in the near future. You always want to do a test fit. I think I may have gone a little bit much. Yeah, man, that looks good. That looks good. The only thing I don't know if I'm going to be able to do is the fur. And I kind of want, I mean, I could sculpt the fur. That's not the issue, but the fur would go right here. And since it has a butterfly joint, that presents a problem. I gotta go back and see how some of these other guys took it on. So it looks like I did go a little bit on the wide side, not. Yeah, but it does help the head get that expression. Yeah, so I think that works. Might have to set it a little bit higher so you can have some neck. Because if I set it too low, it can look like too squatty. Let me see. Let's do this head too. Now that's too high, so I gotta go deeper. Action Jack, that's a pretty decent idea. I don't know how natural that would look though. That would be my only concern. But that's a pretty neat idea. Maybe I can test it with this fur if I'm able to. I may be able to cut this fur out just to mess around with it. So as you can see, it's still sitting too high on the neck, on that ball joint. So I have to go even deeper. And these Toy Biz parts are made of, they're not made of resin. At least that the part in there is not made of resin. They really did a great job of painting. I mean, this is an old, worn out action figure, but it still looks pretty darn good. All right, here we go. So that one, I would say that may be on the money. Just imagine that he'll have like a fur piece over here. If he doesn't have the fur piece, I don't know. That actually looks pretty good. Here's a little closer look so you can see. What's up, Alejandro? How can you do battle damage on a cape or a scarf for a Marvel Legend? You can tatter it up. You can use an X-Acto knife and maybe shred it. But what I would do is I would actually Google it. Excuse me, I would YouTube it. This head fit perfect. YouTube that, and then I think I know what I need to do. I think what I'm going to have to do is actually build this up, because you see how this hole is deeper, and what that's causing it to do is it's causing this head to sit way too low. It's just too squatty there, I think. Right? Am I seeing things correctly here? So anyways, YouTube that, YouTube weathering, and the guys that do the Citadel, the miniature painting, they have some great tutorials. I would take you, avail yourself to that. Kaido, what's going on? Thanks, Justin. Appreciate the support. What's up, William? Let me just run down the chat really quick. I'm trying to miss some stuff, because we did have some technical difficulties. All right. I don't have the stuff that I would want to put in there to build it up. That's inside. But let's test out these arms. So let me take off. That's what I want to do. I do like the shape of these arms, and they're pretty close. These biceps, I mean. Even the shoulder joints, the same size. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So for those of you that are joining now in the chat, I'm just here messing around with the figure. Oh no, I just realized something happened. Oh, good. I thought it was going to be glue. I don't want extra work on that figure. It's about 93 degrees right now. Where are you guys at in the country or out of the country? So that was it. Apply a little bit of heat. I probably could have done a little bit more, and then take it off. Let's take this one off too. Oh my goodness. Brunei, where is that in the world? Action Jack Media in Ohio. Actually look to move to Ohio. had a job opportunity there that when the COVID hit, it kind of went away. So that didn't work out. Who knows? Maybe we'll still end up in Ohio. AS Reyes, I think AS is in Texas, right? We're also looking at Texas. We'll be moving at the end of the year somewhere. I don't know where yet. Houston. How close are you to Sugarland? I got some friends that live there. Oh, I definitely want to go to a red state. Unfortunately, Texas is not. Unfortunately, oh, ow, it's still hot. By the way, hot plastic, guys. But I'm doing this for you guys so you can see how easy it is just to remove the joints. If you're inside, I'd recommend just boiling some water and dropping him in, and then everything comes out. But this is just to test fit these arms that I pulled from, I forget what series of Toy Biz, series 6 or 9, or I can't remember. Somebody in the chat will. Now time to get these balls out. You're like 10 minutes from Sugarland, huh? I hear it's really nice there. Is it true? Omega's in Jacksonville, Florida. That's North Florida, right? Yeah, William, we need to get out of here before this becomes the Socialist Republic of California. I'm not big into politics, but I was born in Cuba, and the reason we don't live in Cuba there is because it's a very oppressive system, and socialists is what they are, communists / socialists. And no way in heck do I want to live in a socialist area, even though I think our country is starting to bend that way, which is strange. But out of my control, that's in God's hands. All right, so I'm heating this joint up. These are a different plastic than the Hasbro uses. It's a little bit harder. It's probably a denser plastic, so I like to really heat these suckers up. Now, the reason I said use the boiling water method, especially when you're inside, is because heated plastic can give off some chemicals that could be dangerous to you. Because this is hot, and I don't really care about this shoulder joint, I'm going to use these pliers. Boom. See how it sweats? I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it in the video. Yeah, some noxious fumes that it's not good for you. No, these were made in, let me see before I talk out of my, without knowing. I'm trying to read. I'm pretty sure they're made in China. Yep, right there. And yeah. I think plastics in general are going to give off like a noxious smell. So just be very careful when you're working with it. All right, so that's the right one, and I think this should be the, yeah, right? So this should be the left, but it says, right. And then, did you just, hold on a second, where's the head of the tricep? These look like they would be two different arms. No. Actually, from this side, it looks correct. like the fat side should be out here. Whoever did this sculpt over here didn't know anatomy like the person that did this sculpt. So I'm thinking that is the right. And compare it to this guy. Yeah, the fat part of the arm, the longer head of the tricep should be on the outside. Wait, no, I lied. It should be on the inside. If I worked out, I would know. Is he? I bought like 4 or 5 of them when they were at retail price because I wanted to use them in customs. I'm just trying to figure out what's what, guys. And I'm thinking that this is the right arm. And it's, well, it says it's right in there. This one doesn't, well, actually, this one says left. I just couldn't see it because I had these glasses on. So this is the left, and this is the right. How about them apples? All right. So now I gotta widen the peg hole. How do you like it in Jacksonville? My wife already said no to Florida. I got family in Florida, but she said nah. No way, Jose. Hey, what's up, Alejandro de Mexico? ¿Qué tal, chico? You guys are too kind. This is really basic stuff, guys. So hopefully you seeing it live, you can see that you can do it too. And then sometimes I screw up live and I have to fix it live, so that also helps. This is just like a jewelry tool. It helps me get into areas that I can't get with my fingers. So I'm trying to figure out if it's because I need to go wider or, yeah, I think it's because I need to be wider. What's up, Manny? Yeah, Omega, that's what I think that's how Texas is too. It's probably like 100 in Texas today. I'm just trying it out, see how it looks. I may ultimately just go back and use the original arms on here. Except I would have to deal with all this stuff. But just with a little bit of a test fit, it kind of works. Let me put the hand that goes with it. It would also help me in the painting department because it'll be the colors that I would be using. Trippy cheese, yeah, I was born in Cuba. I'm an immigrant. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be out here, guys, because it's pretty hot and my devices aren't really cooperating well. This gets really hot, by the way. If you get one, don't put it on the mat. Yeah, I'm not sure I love that. Not sure I love that, but it's got the posable fingers. Let me do the other one, see how it goes. Was she born in Cuba? What part of Cuba is she from? What? Thanks for hanging out, sir. I'm gonna test fit this, and then I'm gonna move on to some other customs that I was planning. I like to get other people's opinions. Oh, I think I got it right on the money on the first try on that one. It's just too hot out here, and my electronics are gonna die. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, play.